intersection, so the officers continue to enter the calls for service. They would also be available for events like Brew Fest coming up, Downtown Street Festivals, things like that. The festival at Cherokee Park County holds each year. And when they are working under the county, their salary will also be covered by the county as the agreement.
Here it asks for savings.
Yes, sir, it should be a savings to the city.
This may be a moot question, but are they deputized? Are they, or how are they, I mean, they have the full rights of the policeman
They will be commissioned,
commission?
they'll be commissioned as a city law enforcement officer, only when they're called to duty, and they have to work under the guidance of a full-time police officer. So an example of that would be, if we had the street festival downtown, we would need to have at least 1 to 2 full-time commission officers there, and then we could have these officers filling in additional slots at that event.
So at that time, they have all the powers of the regular.
They have
officer.
arrest and investigation powers for that time that they're activated to do. Yes, ma'am.
Chief, I appreciate the time that you spent putting this together. It was not an easy task for you, and it is going to be a savings to the city. And I want the council to know on how well you handled it, and how packed you put together.
Thank you, sir.
This time, are there any further questions? Chief? Hearing none, the chair will entertain a motion to appoint the 6 reserve officers as recommended by the chief.
I would like that motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? We have a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, please enter your vote. 6 yeas, no nays. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, sir.
Next item will be a new issue, new issues. I guess we might need you up here again, Chief. Declaring a 1994 police department vehicle surplus property. Were you prepared for that? Or?
Yes, sir, I am. It's in my packet. We've had a request from East Hamlin Volunteer Fire Department for a vehicle, if we all find a vehicle that they could use this, to use around town. And in the past, we have done this for other fire departments and other non-profit. It has to be governmental agency in order for us to transfer the ownership. And so we have done that in the past. This vehicle is an 18-year-old vehicle, has 134,000 miles on it. It's a vehicle that we no longer have that type of vehicles in our fleet, so it has no value to us. And we also do not see this vehicle has any sale value as far as including it in the auction. And so we're recommending that this vehicle be declared surplus and that the ownership of the vehicle be transferred to the East Hamlin Volunteer Fire Department at the request of their chief, Jordan.
Thank you, Chief. Are there any questions to the Chief?
It's as is. It goes as is.
Yes, it goes as is. And they have sold the vehicle.
Any further questions? Hearing none, Chair will entertain a motion to declare the Chevrolet Caprice surplus property. So we have a motion and a second.
Hold on.
And I'll second it.
I got it.
Okay, that's fine. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, please enter your vote. Six yeas, no nays.
Thank you.
Motion carries. We will now convene as a beer board. I don't know. First item, we consider an on-premise permit for Club Inferno limited liability. Daniel Pickley, this was an item that was brought up last week. At this time, does the chief or Lieutenant Danforth want to first? Well, I guess you do. You're sitting there. I'm reading. You're not reading there. Sorry.
Be such a big guy.
Yeah.
I don't have any questions, Chief, as far as any other comments, as far as this goes. Is it, anybody like this, any more questions concerning this?
Is everything still good like it was last time?
Yes, sir, nothing's changed.
Everything's same?
If you recall, I think in our discussion last time, there was some concern about the failure to disclose a conviction on the application, if I recall.
That is correct. He had an original charge, which ended up being dropped for Nolly, and due to that charge, he had a failure to appear in court for that. So that was the issue. It wasn't disclosed to me through the application process, and I found it on the background check.
I think that needs to be brought out, if there's any question about it, I clarify that to the applicants, because we'd be ashamed for that to prevent them from getting their license to sell it, even though it's all taken care of, it should be brought out regardless.
I agree.
Is Mr. Bickley here?
He is here, I'm sorry.
Okay. Are there any other questions of Lieutenant Andrew? Yes, please.
I'll make a question for that.
A motion to approve, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Get your electronic second. There you go.
I'm still asleep. I'm still
Yeah,
thinking of that
sorry.
question a long time
We
ago.
have a motion, and we have a second. Is there any further discussion? I do have a statement I'd like to make. Mr. Bickley, the omission of information in an application for a beer permit could result in forfeiting the eligibility to receive any permit for a period of 10 years. You stated you were not aware of the KPS issue for you because you were never served. You've received the benefit of the doubt from this board. You are aware, though, that we have received numerous nuisance calls on the previous owner and the location you're going into. In view of the problem with your application, you're getting off to a bad start on a new business. We are expecting a strict compliance with all laws and regulations regarding your new business, and hopefully a better environment for the residents near your new establishment. And with that, if there's no further discussion, please enter your vote. 6 yeas, no nays. Next item on the council will be consider an on-premises permit for El Toro.
Yes, Mayor, this is for El Toro LLC, it's doing business as El Toro Mexican Grill. The location is at the mall, 2550 East Morris Boulevard. Just to let you know, it's the, I think originally it was the Luby's Cafeteria, then it became a East Tennessee Wings, and now El Toro Mexican Grill, I put in for that. It is an on-premise permit application. Yvonne Hack and Alicia Zarate are the owners, and they are here tonight if you have any questions. It's a new business going in. Based on my review of the application and my investigation, I feel that they do meet the requirements set forth in city limits. I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have.
Are there any questions of Lieutenant Andrew?
You said this is located in the mall.
Yes, ma'am.
Will this be the first beer permit that will have been granted in the mall?
I don't know.
Wings place had it.
I think the Wings place did have that one.
Make a motion to approve it.
We have a motion to approve, is there a second?
Second.
We have a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, please enter your vote. Six yeas, no nays. Next item, come before council, be the city administrator.
Mayor and council, you have in your package a fairly large volume of information that's a result of staff review of our development process. We're undergoing review of our regulations, and there is before Planning Commission a set of draft subdivision regulations that are in your package for your information. There's also a zoning ordinance amendment that goes hand in hand with those regulations that has to do with guidelines for traffic impact studies. we're asking that you review those documents, give us some feedback. We would like to move forward with this both in the planning commission and council the next several weeks, so we'll move these two processes forward in a parallel manner. If you would give either myself and Mr. Pegler comments and feedback on your thoughts about those things, so we can expedite that process and be consistent in our review of the requirements for our development process. Anybody that's been awake today has noticed that we've had a significant amount of rain over the last couple of days. Matter of fact, I think today we measured 4.3 inches last I heard, and I think it started raining again after I got that count. That has caused some significant problems around town today. We've had problems in both our storm system and our sanitary sewer system from the rain. We've had a couple of overflows in our sewer system. One is at the entrance to our wastewater treatment plant at Turkey Creek, and another is a manhole near Civic Park. We're moving forward with implementing our response plan on those things that we expect to have signs posted if they're not already up, and provide notification to the public about those events. It was an extraordinary rain event. We are trying to respond as necessary, but it does highlight the need for our continued effort to tighten up both systems. We have plans on the table to address infrastructure needs in both your storm sewer and your sanitary sewer system, and this is exactly why we're working on those projects. Parallel to this the discussion about sewer, we have scheduled a special work session 1 week from tonight on the 25th at 5 o'clock in this room. Mr. Lamar Dunn will at that time present his report on the Turkey Creek wastewater plant. His study has to do with how the plant operates and some potential improvements we can make to the plant. That report will also include reports from the odor study we commissioned for the plant and its impact on the neighbors. So 1 week from today at 5 o'clock, we'll have a special called work session for the purpose of hearing that report, and that'll give you a great deal more information about what we can do at the treatment plant itself. And finally, on a lighter note, I want to mention several things about our park system that are very favorable. I know that many of you were able to go up to Martin Luther King Park this Saturday and participate in the Arts in the Park. I think it's an outstanding event, very well attended. It's a growing event that's getting more and more interest, and I'm very pleased to see the turnout that we had. Also, last week we were able to dedicate our resurfaced tennis courts and recognize the partnership between the school system, the city, and the county in making things like that happen for our community and our school system. I thought it was a good day for the community. If you've been out in Frank Loreno Park, you've seen this golf course is moving forward and it's nearly ready. We'll have a dedication of that facility, but I think we're going to be very, very proud of that new amenity in our park. And finally, at MLK, the butterfly garden feature is well underway. If you were up there Saturday, you saw that the concrete's been poured. It's looking very attractive. I think it's something to be a draw for that park facility and something to be very proud of. So I'm very pleased with the progress we're making on Parks and Rec. That's our report for today.
Thank you, Tony. The next portion of our meeting will be communications and petitions. This is a portion of the meeting where members of the audience may speak subject to the guideline provided, which simply are come forward to the podium, state your name, address, address all comments to the chair, and there are no restrictions on what you may talk to during this communications and petition period of the meeting. With that, podium is now open for any comments, petitions, or comments.
My name is Eddie Hurley. I'm from, my address is 39905 Highway 194 East, Phelps, Kentucky. I'm the owner of Lakeview Management and Development, and I'm here today to talk about the project at Panther Creek and West AJ Highway. The company, along with its consultants, have attempted to get a work session for a little over 3 months and have been denied for some unknown reason. This project has been ongoing for 3.5 years. The first item I've got is the lack of communication with the city's engineering department. You can never get a call back. You can never get a call through. Everything's done by email. Email confuses us more than anything. We just need to be able to communicate with them and be able to get calls back. we've tried several times and we finally just give up on that. The engineering cost on this project is done 5 to 7 times more than it should have cost on this project. I believe the relationship between the developer and the city should be a partnership, not a battle. It should be a partnership. And our goal is to finish this development. Our company believes we should be able to work with the city, not be, just talk on the emails. On the penalties, that brings me to the reason I'm here. I'm here today to discuss the fines and penalties that the city has attempted to levy against this project. It's
Mayor,
in-
if I may interject, Mr. Hurley, Mr. Hurley has requested a hearing, administrative hearing on this project about the application of penalties for the agreement we've signed. We're attempting to schedule that hearing. I think the appropriate forum to discuss that appeal is in the hearing that is to be scheduled, not before council. That hearing will be an administrative hearing before myself. After the conduct of that hearing, if Mr. Hurley wishes to appeal, that appeal will come to council. I think before the council hears evidence in that hearing, it should go through the appropriate process, and I would suggest that it would not be appropriate to hear evidence in that matter at this time.
So really what we're saying at this point is that because this hearing may come before council, correct,
That's correct.
that information should not be discussed. Mr. Earl did, I'm going to explain to you what he's talking about. What he's saying is that your appeal or your discussion with the city could possibly come before council.
Well,
And anything that we hear today may actually slant or cause us to prejudge or make a decision before both sides are presented. Is that the way?
That's correct.
Yep.
So if we could limit your comments to other than penalties, would that fit?
I understand that the appeal that's being sought, it has to do with penalties.
So if it would behoove you and council, at this point, you would not discuss the penalties, but anything else that you would like to speak to us about, you may.
I don't even know what the penalties is. I mean, that's one of the discussions we got here. I mean,
So if you want to discuss the process, Bill.
we've never been assessed with them, don't know what they are, but I've been sent emails to say that they're still accruing, and I have no way of stopping them. I mean, and that's what I'm here.
Well, and that's something you may do, you may talk to that,
Well,
but as far as
I'm
discussing penalties in general,
To,
we wouldn't be doing that.
Beg the council to help me with this, because we can't get a work session, we can't get no stoppage on it, we can't get a firm date of when you meet, and I've sent an email from the engineering group the other day, that says they're still on and going to run, and still running. I mean, it's just I'm taking a whip and don't know how to stop it.
I understand this question. Tony, the last email I believe council got on this, I was of the understanding, and I'm past council, their understanding is on this, is that this was going to come before us, is that not correct?
But the hearing has been requested before, the administrative hearing come before me first day.
All right, so, and then if he wants to appeal yours,
If it would come to
then it
council.
would come before council.
And the agreement signed by Mr. Hurley and by the city provided for certain penalties for failure to perform by a certain date. There are additional penalties for failure to pay those penalties. The failure to pay is what accruing at this point in time.
And so if I understand what Mr. Hurley is saying, he is asking that he wants to do it now, stop any further penalties, and that you're having a difficult time doing it, is that what you're saying?
Yes, you can never get a firm date. You can't, the penalties, they just tell you they're listed on one, but you can't get no firm date of when we can stop all this.
How would you like to address that?
The penalties that are accruing today are for failure to pay the penalties that he was notified of for being late. So that's the way to stop accruing additional penalties would be to pay the penalty. He wants to appeal the process and make evidence, and I think that would be appropriate to do in a hearing setting.
I might interject that one way to stop the running penalties would be to pay the balance under protest, and that would leave him with the right to recover
understand that?
I ain't hardly understood much I've heard there today.
Saying, when you stop the accrual of penalties, pay the penalties, then you have the right to appeal.
Well, I think we've been penalized enough. It's costing me 5 to 7 times more on the engineering cost than I should have spent on this project period. And I have had to do the job and totally finish it, grade it and everything, and I don't even have a site plan. Who's ever heard of such things? I mean, I've never heard of such things. And it'd be like you go to a garden and have to finish your garden, then go dig it up, put the drain pipes and the sewer pipes in it. I mean, it's just ludicrous.
I think the remedy has been explained by the city attorney to stop any more penalties. And I believe that you're in the process of working with, and I can assure you, if you call Mr. Cox, he'll be in his office, or you'll be able to reach him.
That's correct.
Uh,
Mr. Sexton is facilitating the hearing process. We believe there will be 12, 15